and welcome. I've got Janet Drummond here with me today, who was part of the Wellbeing Project. Tell us exactly how you were connected to the Wellbeing Project, Janet.
I was part of the original group that did the first wellbeing project. So we were the pilot group, if you like, and we did the more extensive program that existed back then. So that was on a personal level. I applied to do the course as an individual.
Yep.
I also have a slight connection, or a little bit of a connection, through the council as being a local councillor. So I'm very aware of how the funding came about and how it was meant to be used, etc. But I guess what I'm talking about mainly today is my involvement as an individual with the
Yeah.
wellbeing project.
Excellent. And so what were the best parts of the project for you personally?
Best parts of the project for me, I really enjoyed the sessions that we had. They were very extensive at that time, and so that was a little bit of a hiccup for some people to get over. But I really enjoyed the engagement with other people and learning about what they perceived to be what was needed in the community. But certainly the learning that I took away from that has been applicable through various aspects of my life. And so that's been a really positive outcome, I think, from the learning.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
And so did you see actual positive benefits for the community as well?
Definitely. Yeah. Look, my own individual project was I work, as you know, Barb, I work at the op shop. I coordinate the op shop, and part of the thing that I took from that was a wellbeing project into the op shop. So before we have staff meetings, volunteer staff meetings every quarter, and some of that can be a little bit testy and a little bit tense at times. So managing lots of personalities.
Yeah.
So part of what I wanted to do was frame up to start the conversation around well-being and what working at the op shop, what volunteering at the op shop had done for every individual's well-being during the last 12-week period.
Yeah.
So rather than starting off the meeting by just going, right, we're going to start the meeting, we say, okay, someone tell us what's been a good impact for your well-being at being in the op shop for the last 3 months.
Nice.
So identifying the really positive attributes of volunteering in the community.
So actually applying
that. Yeah. And so
all the
we've
things you learned. Yeah.
yeah. So a lot of the materials that I had from the wellbeing course, I took it into the op shop and shared with people. We did different sessions. And there were posters up all over the place about the different elements of the wellbeing course.
Yeah.
But then it was really that taking it to the next level, to take it to a meeting and say, okay, what have you had in the last 3 months at the op shop that has benefited your well-being through being a volunteer here?
But let's expand that to how many volunteers are actually coming in so that the people understand what's really happening here. How many volunteers do you have at the moment at the op shop?
I mean, I've got 34 volunteers. I'm very fortunate, big number of people. And we get upwards of 12 up to 24 people at a meeting ordinarily. So they can be 2 to 3 hours long. So, and we discuss all elements of the running of the op shop. So it's made in a cooperative way. So just big decisions around how we run the op shop are made as a group, so that we all know that we're on the same page. So bringing that well-being element to the forefront for me was a really important element, and we've continued that. So I did the course 3 or 4 years ago now, and we've continued that to this day. And so we continue to, at that meeting, we start with, okay, what's happened that's been really good for you in the last 12 weeks? So we're framing it up in that really positive way, and then we can go on to talk about the hard things that need to be talked about. And conflict happens when you've got that many people, but framing it up with that at the forefront, I think, sets the tone for the rest of the meeting.
Oh, absolutely. That's awesome. So what do you see looking forward or hope to see coming from the Wellbeing Project that we know is wrapping up in its current form? What would you like to see happen?
I'd really like to see, and I think this has happened to some degree, I think that those projects that individuals set up while they were in the program have continued to some degree. I'd like to see those projects continuing to happen in our community and to expand. And even though we don't have a person in that role of wellbeing coordinator any longer, I think that the community can work with the elements that we've spread this thing far and wide. So, I mean, there's a lot of people in the community who are grounded in wellbeing, and I think that we can all work together and cohesively as a community to continue that trajectory into the future of this focus on well-being. So things like, walking groups, diet habits, just having these well-being conversations, really important. And I see that as living now within the community, and the community are the ones that got to move it forward and own it and teach it to each other and spread that.
Fantastic. Anything we didn't cover that you would like to share?
No, I don't think so. I think that you know, I think it was a great project. I think we were really fortunate as a community to have the input that we had.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful that we were given that opportunity. And whilst it's sad that the paid position is no longer there, I do believe this can reside within the community and grow to be something, you know, continue to grow to be something
Yeah,
great.
fantastic.